Hey, it's Soul. It's a few months until the launch of World of Warcraft Dragonflight, and some of you have been waiting for an expansion like this ever since its announcement, or the launch of Shadowlands, or Battle for Azeroth, or sooner. I'm here to remind you of what Shadowlands has to offer with a list of things to do before it's over. And here's something to consider though. Shadowlands is by far one of the most collection-heavy expansions around. There's a lot to get, and a lot of activities involved to get it. If it's okay with you, like the video, subscribe for more content, and well, let's get to things to consider doing in WoW before the Dragonflight launch, like doing anything else. Weird way to kick things off, I know. There are things outside of the World of Warcraft, and at least a quarter of the people in the comments below were subconsciously baited here because they just can't resist the WoW bashing. Like all things, World of Warcraft is to be enjoyed in moderation, before we jump in and bask in the catch-ups while all the grizzled players who are on every day groan that their time is not being respected. But I'm serious though, you actually can take a break or continue the one that you're currently on. There are a ton of games that have been coming out like every week, and more to come leading up to the end of this year. How many of you have too many games in their backlog, like, I don't know, the new Horizon Zero game, or Elden Ring, that came out just this year? There was a Borderlands-like game with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Personally, I'm a fan of roguelites. Rogue Legacy 2 came out earlier this year, and I've been playing this mindless bullet hell style game called Vampire Survivors, which only cost like $3. Now maybe MMOs are your deal and WoW just happens to be your home game. But it wouldn't hurt to visit the likes of Guild Wars 2, which had a new expansion launch a little while back. Final Fantasy XIV just had a big patch adding an entire island for you to, I'm actually not quite sure what you do there, but I bet it's a lot of fun. There's no end to these suggestions outside of World of Warcraft, but what about inside? Let's start off with the big three content, the usual things that go away at the end of an expansion. If possible, try to knock out Sylvanas or the Jailer on Mythic difficulty for a shot at the Mythic difficulty mount. After Shadowlands, the drop rate goes down significantly, and if history is any indicator, these bosses may not be soloable until at least 2 expansions from now. There's also the heroic Jailer mount, and just in case, you'll want to defeat every Shadowlands raid boss while they're in Fated status to get the Slime Cat mount. Of course, the Gladiator and Keystone Master mounts are going to go away after Shadowlands as well. The real bread and butter of Shadowlands, its true legacy, comes from the exhausting amount of collectibles and transmog. Going in kind of chronological order, the 9.0 patch is arguably the single biggest dump of collectibles ever. Between the 4 Covenant and 4 armor types, we have our work cut out for us, and there's no guarantee that the WoW team will ease up the way that all of these cosmetics can be unlocked. Here's a small tip though. There are a bunch of cosmetics that are shared across all the Covenants, so you'll be saving a bit of time and confusion for yourself by unlocking just about everything from one Covenant. Personal opinion here, the Kyrian is the most easy to understand Covenant when it comes to unlocks because just about everything is on a vendor. You will be spending some extra anima, but you won't have to worry so much about running dailies or relying on luck to get any missing transmog, pets, or gear. At the very least, make sure that you've switched to each Covenant once and use the Renown boost item to take it up to 60. You'll unlock a whole bunch of pets, mounts, and transmog that'll go straight into your inventory. Finally, the cosmetics from the mission table are also shared across every Covenant, so you only really need to complete all the campaign missions once on your account. The 9.1 Covenant armor sets are a little bit hard to get, but they're also some of the most fun pieces to work with because they're cosmetic and can be used regardless of armor type, meaning you only have to unlock these sets once. They come in 4 color variations, with the easiest being just gifted to you via Renown, no biggie. Another set is also available via Renown, but you have to buy it with anima from your Renown Quartermaster. The third set comes from a different Quartermaster in Korthia, and you're going to need to switch between Covenants to get each appearance from this vendor. The last variation is the most time-consuming to get. You randomly see pieces of this set in Korthia daily quests as a reward depending on what Covenant you're a part of. So here's another tip. You can join this Discord channel that sends announcements to the US or EU regions when these appearances are available. They'll tell you which Covenant you should be and which piece is available. I'll provide a link to the channel in the video description. If you want to check yourself, you can pick up all the dailies in Korthia and then check what cosmetics are being offered from the quests. But you can also return to Oribos and change Covenant while you have these quests. It takes a moment, but the quests should update and reveal a Covenant appearance. Just repeat the process every day until you get all the appearances. Zereth Mortis is another big source of cosmetics of all sorts, but thanks to the protoform synthesis, there's a ton of mounts and pets available too. If these are your thing, there's a detailed Wowhead guide that'll take you through obtaining each and every one. Also throughout the zone are tons of transmog appearances, some of which don't drop unless you're the right class. The Creation Catalyst is not just a source for tier set bonuses, but also tier set appearances. With all the gear that you can collect between raids, dungeons, PvP, and even Sandworn gear from Zereth Mortis, you can easily collect a full transmog set of every difficulty, even if you don't raid 100% of the time. One of the loftiest goals in Shadowlands, maybe, is the Back from the Beyond achievement. It's a super meta that covers just about every feature in Shadowlands, from raid and dungeon content to the Covenant Sanctum to everyone's favorite place in the world, the Maw. You do and you don't get a lot out of it. The meta itself gets you a title, the Veil Strider. Like, woohoo! But on your journey towards this meta, you're going to collect tons of collectibles, and transmog, and pets, and mounts, and other titles. And it's time consuming between farming for anima and completing achievements that are only possible during a certain Covenant assault, and whenever specific quests for said assault are available. And I hate it. You might have already completed big parts of it already. You can double check your progress on Wowhead, or you can copy paste this script here to look in-game. Another big chunk to knock out, Torghast. Its function as a way to get legendaries has deteriorated a lot over the months, but there's still a lot of transmog and pets to collect. This final season of Shadowlands didn't introduce higher difficulties, which gives you a chance to complete the highest level of Torghast and the Jailer's Gauntlet, and this contributes to the Back from the Beyond meta. Running it more is mostly to get a chance of pets from the bosses or to buy transmog from the broker vendors. Okay, so maybe you're done and tired of Shadowlands. I got a little bit more. At this stage of the expansion, you're more than ready to take on some older content. Between the gear and other changes that have made soloing content easier, Legion raids and dungeons should be of little challenge to you outside of a couple of encounters. Meanwhile, Battle for Azeroth raids are queuable in Raid Finder difficulty, and Legacy loot mode is on, but encounters still haven't been adjusted to make them solo friendly, not yet. And don't forget about the Mage Tower, which is always up forever now. Although we don't know exactly what's going to happen in Dragonflight. Maybe the fights will be retuned thanks to talents coming back and other class changes. Maybe they'll somehow revert our characters and classes back to a Shadowlands version just for the Mage Tower. If you are going to take it on now though, it's not a bad time. Consumables should be much cheaper than they were when the Mage Tower initially returned. I know this was more like a series of reminders as opposed to something that would surprise you like, whoa, I didn't know all of these things. But the takeaway is that, unlike previous expansions, there is an almost intimidating number of activities and things to farm for. It's not exactly systems, but collections that are Shadowlands' real legacy, and you're free to farm it up as fast or as slow as you like. I'm just here to jog your memory. If you've got anything else to share though, feel free to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe for more stuff, and I will catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.